Welcome to Dynamics of Dialogue. This is your host, Ty Davis, and I wanted to dedicate this month's episodes to a cause that is very special to me. This month, we're focusing on sexual assault and domestic violence awareness. Stay tuned after the episode for details on where you can get help if this is you.
Welcome to Dynamics of Dialogue. This is your host, Ty Davis, and I'm here in the studio today with my special guest author, Meshia Bean. She is the author of Unbroken, I Am Still Standing. And this is, it's pretty difficult to read. I'm not going to lie. I started to read it. It's an excellent book, but it tugs on your heartstrings because it's written in such a beautiful voice. So, as we get started, Meshia, I want to ask you, what made you have the desire to write this book?
What made me want to write my book is when my mother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, let me leave something, a legacy for my son and for grandchildren, because tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
And it is an eye-opener when she passed because, you know, people die, but when your mother passed away, that just changes your whole outlook on everything.
Okay, and it does. I can imagine. I haven't had that experience. My mother is still here. And it sounds like her death, it sounds like it was, well, of course, for anyone, losing a parent is a profound experience. It's like none other. There's nothing like losing a parent. There's nothing like losing a child, nothing like losing a sibling. But the fact that losing her made you want to tell this story really sounds like it kind of brought some things up for you. Do you have any idea, do you recall, you know, she passed and you wanted to tell a story, but what is it that made you want to tell this story? Because this is really, it's powerful.
Because my mother, she did believe me when I told her.
Okay.
She did believe me. And I just wanted to do something for other people to teach their children about child molestation.
Right.
And I had parents that had my back. And I just wanted to leave something behind. And so to share my truth, to share my truth.
Wow. It's a beautiful truth. And I noticed in here, I think I may have passed it. I'm sorry, I'm coming to it now, but there's a section where you have something in here. Oh, here it is. Page 38, how we can spot a child molester. So I can tell that you put intention into this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but really, I mean, it's so crazy to say that how can you spot a child molester? Because some things have changed, you know, since I wrote this book. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, just be careful about someone that wants to always want to be alone with your child and sort of touch you with your child and do secretive things with your child and ask questions and be concerned and go along with that adult, male or female, or whoever your relatives or cousin or uncle or brother. Just ask questions.
Ask questions.
Ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. You know, children always get so defensive and thinking you're being nosy, but you have every right to be nosy. Especially that child's a minor.
And especially sometimes it's what keeps them safe.
Yes.
Although it doesn't necessarily always work. And, you know, we were just talking a little while ago, and I noticed as a survivor also, I know that I was kind of a helicopter parent. It's difficult to give your kids space when you know the monsters that are out there.
Yeah, as a teacher, just teaching be aware. Come talk to me. Tell me if something happens. Like, for instance, with my son, my godson, they were little kids. They were playing, and my son came and told me, Mommy, such and such touched my butt. He came and told me, and I jumped on it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And he never has to worry about experiencing something like that because he knows what to look out for. It's something that feels uncomfortable, it's not right. If you feel uncomfortable and you're afraid, that's not right.
Right, right. So let's talk about your story. I know that this is part of your mission, as a soldier in this army against this fight, against, this sexual assault and domestic violence. So I know it's kind of difficult. I think, even though it's your story and you do this, I know it's I think it gets to be difficult to kind of recount that. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So I just wanted to create space for that and give honor to you for being willing to come out and share your story. It's an amazingly brave thing to do, because it's like zipping down your pants in front of the public.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's the most vulnerable part of us, the soft underbelly that we don't show anyone. But if you would share, parts of your story that you feel comfortable with sharing, please do that for us.
Okay. Well, I was 6 years old when me and my mother moved in with my grandmother, and she was married to an alcoholic, which is my step-grandfather, and he befriended me very quickly. Mm-hmm. But I was never taught about child predators, sexual assault. This is early or late 70s. Mm-hmm. So my parents let me just hang with him all the time. Mm-hmm. All the time. That's how they figured, okay, well, there's a babysitter. Mm-hmm. And they probably said nothing was wrong with that. Mm-hmm. So this gentleman, he grew with me for, I really can't say how many months or whatever, because I was only 6.
So when you said, I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask you, because I think that's important that you say he groomed you for 6 months.
Yes.
So I would like to ask what that grooming is like, but if you continue.
Okay. I know one incident when I was getting in trouble, he offered to spank me. And we went to the bedroom, and he said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to hit the bed with the belt, and you act like you're crying. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not going to get a spanking, okay. So he hit the bed, she turned, howled out. And he said, okay, now you stay in the room, and act like, I done beat your butt, and don't come out for a while. And, okay, that's fine. I'm like, okay, this is my buddy right here. Mm-hmm. And the other incidents, he let me drink coffee, he let me drink beer, he would take me to the gambling house where he used to have his little parties and stuff. And
you taught you how to keep secrets.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what I have in my book, that I learn how to keep secrets. Mm-hmm. And then one incident, and I was coming down to the basement, it felt different this time. He was sitting on the couch, and he had a beer in his hand, his hand on a gun. He's watching TV, and I was looking for my mother. And like, your mom is in the bedroom, and someone's knocking on the door. And then he laughed, like, oh, I'm just playing, she's not here. So I just turned around to run away, and he just grabbed me. He made me sit on his lap, and he had me grinding on his crotch and tell me to give him a kiss. And next thing I knew, he threw me on the couch. And my little body, he smothered my whole body. I'm a 6-year-old little girl. And he penetrated me, and he was telling me to be still, to relax, and that I'm going to be a lady anyway. So he's going to teach me how to become a woman. At the age of 6. And I know I blacked out. I know I couldn't breathe. And I was beating him, like, get off me, you're hurting me. And he was like, don't put on my body. You see that gun over there, I'll kill your mom. And so, of course, I'm not going to say anything. And that happened off and on for a couple of years. He didn't penetrate me all the time, but he used to always make me give him all sex.
At 6 years old.
At 6 years old. So, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. Got one up until 9 years old.
I just want to pause a moment here and, Eddie gives you a little breather, because that's an intense story. That's heavy, but this is exemplary of what so many Black women go through. We're sexualized as children. The fact that he said that to you, you're going to be a lady anyway.
Yes.
But for children, there is a consequence, whether the child is male or female, whether the assailant is male or female. There is a consequence to introducing them to sex too soon.
Yeah.
Because it alters, what he did. I mean, imagine what that does for you to be having oral sex as a 6-year-old. And how that, manifests in your life as you go through puberty at a time. How does that affect you at a time when you are supposed to go through, right? You can't stop puberty. You can't stop it. So you can't stop it. So, there's all kinds of things that can come out of that. I just have to express that I'm sorry. I know that you're a survivor and I've heard your story before, but it's so impactful to me. I just cannot hear it without saying, I'm just so sorry that you didn't do that.
Yes. Yeah. But it's so crazy because I started my menstrual at 9.
Right.
So I could have, got pregnant at that age.
That's right.
Which I did get pregnant at 13, but not by him,
Mm-hmm.
And I had an abortion.
Right.
But the first thing I got pregnant, I was the same age I was.
Okay. But the fact that, do you think that you would have been having sex at 13 had that not happened?
No. Because I would never. Your body gets wakened to something like a hormone, so waking up.
And I think
you crave that feeling, you crave that touch.
You do, and I think that's where the shame comes from, because part of it is really trying to understand how, people cannot, it's very difficult to, when people, they tend to re-victimize the person who has been a victim of the assault, because they say it went on for so long, you didn't do anything, and then look, he's promiscuous. But what they're ignoring is that, because you may not want to do something, that doesn't mean that your body doesn't respond to it. It doesn't mean that hormonally, chemically, the fact that these things are happening, it's sending signals to your body that you're developing, you're ready, and I think this is one of the things I started my cycle when I was 10.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of that you find. There's a correlation. Of course, again, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but there is a correlation between that and the early onset and children actually, because by the time you're 13, your body's going to be developed because a man has been having.
Yes. And people are like, I'm 13, where's your husband? You don't look your age. And
exactly.
So.
Exactly.
But I had two music, my best friend's brother-in-law, he's an older teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, 10. And he grew on me, but I was used to it, so I was easier to give myself to him. Because I was used to it already.
Because it kind of makes you feel, when it's introduced to you so young, doesn't it, and you don't really know, and there's no one, you know it's wrong, but it kind of makes you feel like that's what you're supposed to give your body up when a man. Because it takes you away from your power.
Yes.
Right? It teaches you that you don't have say-so over your body.
Yes.
And that if they want it, you have to give it to them, and if you don't give it to them, they're going to hurt you.
Exactly.
So a lot of women learn how there's two things. So there's two things to that. On one layer, it's again, and I wanted to talk about this, and I thank you for telling your story, because this is our story, a lot of our stories. So it's the reason why you'll never hear, I don't refer to women as whores, none of that. Because that's just simply a person that has learned how to capitalize on the fact that this was taken from her. Yeah. When it's taken from you, you're taught that you learn that this is your body, and either you can process it, well, not just one or two ways, but you can process it a couple of ways, but you can look at it and say, you know what? These men are always trying to take this from me.
Yeah.
How can I take control over this?
Yeah.
What can I do? And this is very largely, because I'm very much in favor of women in the sex industry having control.
Yes.
Because that's really what it is. It's about the control over their own bodies, and whether it's healthy or not, it's a journey. When we're on a journey, there's going to be no expectation that everything we're going to do is healthy, because we have to discover when we're coming out of some murky dirt.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I never told my mother about the situation with the teenager boy. She didn't. Nobody never knew about that until I read my book.
Until you wrote your book.
Yeah. And she wasn't here to read it. My mother passed. Like I said, she passed, and I wrote it after. So.
Do you think that it was difficult for you to tell the story while she was still alive, or you just didn't?
I didn't think about doing it. I didn't think about doing it. I did not.
Okay.
I sure didn't.
Wow. So, good.
But the crazy thing is, the situation when I was 10, the gentleman is still living. And I have to tell my best friend the story is about them before she got the book, even though I changed names. And then she told me that that he has little granddaughters.
Jesus.
So I don't know. I haven't heard from her since I told her that. No, it was like 2.5 years ago. I just told her. So
how did she receive that?
she cried. She apologized, and she said that yes, he did. She was told that he raped his sister growing up.
He raped his sister?
His own sister. Yes.
So it sounds like, and that's the other part of it. That's why I thought it was so impactful that you put in here, I took the paper with that you put in here about spotting the child molester, because I think people should understand the differences. I mean, people, we put them all in one category, but you talk about, where did it go? I'm sorry. You talk about the first part, the quote you have by Catherine Ramsland, talking about the first part, pedophiles being in 1 of 4 categories. So there's the mythopeds, and that's offenders who are interested in molesting and abusing children because they want to harm them.
Yes.
All right? And have that control. And then there's the regressed child offender, and that's the person that has relationships with adults but offend against a child because of a stressful event in that offender's life.
Exactly.
And they can seek someone they can control. And then there's the fixated child offender, stuck at an early stage of psychosexual development.
Yes.
Right, all right. They don't have a lot of activity with people their own age because they're uncomfortable with adults, and they seek out these relationships with children.
Yeah.
And I tell you,
and then a naive pedophile.
Yes, and that's
That's considered really retarded person. They don't know the wrong from right.
Right. Well, I'll say, and I just to step into that, because I want to be sure that we're sensitive to all communities. Even people with intellectual disabilities is the more appropriate term that they use these days. It's like trying to really. There's so many terms that these were terms that were that were used in mental health, but now they're evolving. So they talk about intellectual disabilities, and even those people, they know the difference between right or wrong. They just learn at a slower rate. Yeah. And I think that in this case where it talks about the naive pedophile, I think that what we're looking at, like in a case with R. Kelly, he doesn't have a sense of right or wrong in that particular situation, because to him, that was normalized. Yeah. An older person was having sex with him. Yeah. So that's, it's not that, you don't know things that are right, you don't know things that are wrong, but when this type of sexuality is normalized for you as a child, how do you now know as an adult? Even though you may hear all of these things, it's difficult to process that. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where the real tragedy comes in. I think a lot of, I know there's a lot of people that fall in all these categories, but I think about all the people who were victims of this assault themselves and who go on to offend. Yes. Yeah, that's the tragedy. So, let's talk about how that sexuality, right? This early awakened sexuality comes into their life, and let's talk about that with puberty, because I want to give a voice to that, because again, girls are often told that they're over sexualized. We're over sexualized from the time that we are children. You can go out and buy children's clothing with writing on the butt, drawing attention to their behind. It doesn't. That's a little girl. Back when I was growing up, I'll start with my mom. When my mom was growing up, little girls wore bobby socks.
Yes.
And
dresses. That's my grandmother. She told me that's how she blamed my grandmother blamed me.
Yeah.
My grandmother blamed me for getting assaulted because my mother dressed me.
Wow.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm a little girl.
You're a little girl.
I'm going to dress like a little girl. She's a little girl,
It makes the assumption that men can't control themselves and that we have to account for men's ability to not control themselves. And that's not our responsibility. Mm-hmm. And this is a great example of how women perpetuate rape culture and patriarchy by forcing other women to conform to be a certain way because of however a man
don't look at you.
Because you can't control what men do. This is how women get disconnected from our power source, because we're taught to disconnect from our power source and submit to that. So let's talk about how that process, what that did for you, that, by 13 you're having sex and getting pregnant. Because I know that was the experience. It's kind of like you got victimized all over again, because I'm sure if you got blamed for being molested, I'm sure it must have been horrible when you got pregnant.
Okay. Well, of course, what I said being fast, which I thought I was being fast, because I didn't know the name for it, but I was hurting. Mm-hmm. And I was just out looking for attention and love, and there's a cute little boy in my school. He's a popular boy, and we befriended each other, and all we ever talked about was, we're going to do it. We're going to do it, Mm-hmm. And one day we ended up doing it with one handshake, one leg off out of my pants. Ooh. And it happened so fast. Like I said, body was so hot. He didn't really penetrate me. It was enough for the semen to go inside, and I ended up getting pregnant. And I knew then, I said, I bet you I'm pregnant, because he's a man. I ejaculated. I said, I bet you I'm pregnant. And sure enough, 6 weeks later, our school teacher took me to the clinic to get a pregnancy test, and I was pregnant.
Did you talk to your school teacher?
She was my art teacher. She was like one of my best teachers. You had a favorite teacher in school.
Yes.
So she took me to the clinic, and she was going to get fired because she took me off the premises.
Oh, my gosh.
And I wish I could find her. I don't know if she's alive or not. I wish I could find her.
Here I'm trying to solve. I was going to ask, have you tried searching on Facebook?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if she's married or not, so I don't know. I tried to find her.
Okay.
But yeah, she took me to the clinic, and she cried, and I was such in denial. I was shocked. I was just laughing. And in the waiting room with the other girlfriends of mine, so I was pregnant with babies at the age of 13, 14.
It's heartbreaking just giving space to that, because what you just described, I don't know if you realize how much you are a really good illustrator, because really, when I read it, I get transported. When I hear you tell your story, I get transported into the scene, and I can see it. So, as you described that, I could just see these girls sitting there in a line. Yeah. And that's a very powerful moment, because to me, that's a statement of the absolute failure that's occurring in our society. Yeah. If the girls are being assaulted, what we talked about before, 60% of black women are being sexually assaulted by the age 18. It may not be that, and I want to be really clear, that doesn't mean that 60% of black women are going to the police and reporting it. I think what's happening now is that this is long suffering, and now so many of us are going to therapy. I know my own therapist has told me specifically that psychology is looking, psychiatry is looking for, Black African American people's voices, because these are crimes we don't, not just us, but, the Latino community, it's the same type of thing, the Asian community, the communities particularly where people don't speak English, those are the ones that are even more susceptible, because they're going to be less likely to report to the police because of all kinds of,
ridicule.
Exactly, yes. So this is where it becomes a real tragedy that you have it as a societal thing, and at the end, the offender himself is going free and has people defending him, like R. Kelly, still defending him, but then you have no one defending the little girl who's being, and this also highlights how it's not, sexual assault is not a thing where you get victimized at one time and that's it.
I was victimized all through my life by men. Just by them, want to grope me or peeking through the window, or my boyfriend's brothers coming after me. Just victimized. I'm like, wow, I'm so tired of this,
And they say, well, why don't you fight back? This should be, what you do. And, how if somebody's trying to harm you, then you would think people automatically assume that you're a black woman because they embody that angry black woman thing. So why aren't you fighting? But they don't understand we're human beings just like anyone else. And particularly at a young age, when somebody teaches you, when they take control of your body and you learn as a 6-year-old that a grown man can decide he wants to take your body and there's nothing you can do about it, then it does affect you psychologically. So, people most often know about the fight or flight response, but what they don't understand is the freeze or please response.
Wow.
Freeze or please, and I know I've been in that situation myself. Depending upon who the offender is, depending upon what the situation is. Yes, and so if it's somebody like I talked about before, I had a situation with somebody that I just met had done something, and I froze. Because when somebody assaults you and threatens you with violence, you count the cost before you act. Right?
Yeah.
And then some people go into pleasing mode because they would rather please the person instead of being beaten and having a
Exactly. That's so sad.
It is.
So we don't do, like I said, I took my power back, for me to get help and go to counseling. And no, enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
So I want to be the voice for the voiceless and let them know, we're right up the side here, we got you. We can help you. We can help counsel you. We can show you how to change your mindset of thinking that it's your fault or if you have suicidal thoughts. Take control. No, it's not your fault. It is not your fault.
It's not. It is not. And you said just a moment ago that you had been victimized in several of your relationships. Can you just talk for a minute about what that looked like? About how, because, I just wanted you to articulate that part so that people can understand.
Well, victimized as, they'll tell you, well, you're the woman, I'm the man, you're supposed to do this. I'm paying your bills, you're supposed to please me. Or even the guy, well, my friend likes you. He wants to give me $1,000. I'm like, what? Because he thinks you're so beautiful. And only for a few moments, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt nothing. I'm like, but what about me? What about my feelings? You don't have enough respect for me to let somebody else come and invade me, victimize me? Which never happened. I ended up leaving that. And nothing. I said, I love me. I don't have to put up with this stuff. Oh, I had a boyfriend's brother used to peer in the window in the house where we lived at. And I went to go tell my boyfriend. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? Put some clothes on. He had no business peeking in the window. as a victim being victimized. I left him. I'm not putting up with that stuff. He said, "Well, you want me to go out there and fight him?" No, go out there and confront him. I'm supposed to be your queen. You're supposed to protect me.
I'm just so sorry.
And so this still right now, he still apologizes. But I don't want you to even call me. Don't call me, leave me alone, because you should have my back then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this man peeking at me, I'm in my clothes or robe or whatever. Gonna tell me, well, you should have put some clothes on. Oh, wow. That's okay.
Yeah.
And this only happened maybe 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, and it's difficult. I think it becomes really difficult, when all the men around you are like that.
Yes.
And it keeps happening. And this is a cultural thing that we don't acknowledge. And even, whenever you ask, I saw a meme the other day on Facebook, where they were just asking, guys in response to sexual violence and all these things, to just be better men and encourage other men to be better men. You should see the responses. The men got so angry. She could make better choices. It's always put back on the woman about how she internalizes these experiences. So I can see that experience being internalized where people will tell you, well, you should have made a better choice. And they're in control of their character. And that's, I think, part of the other thing is that men are very visually stimulated, and I think some of them get so drawn into that it's a man without self-control is a person that definitely is a red flag for me. Yeah, because that was definitely lack of self-control, and then that apathy of the response I'm just so sorry. There should never be a price to pay for being a woman or being a beautiful woman. That should not be a price.
Exactly.
And that's the
my grandmother, she always told me, don't be blonde. Don't act like a blonde because I light skin and I have red hair. Don't be so girl, but don't act blonde all the time. I'm like, why would you say that,
Mm-hmm.
But don't make yourself look so easy, Or you're too pretty. It's a curse. It's a curse and a blessing because of the way you are. I'm like, what?
It's not, but see, that's the thing. Because it could either be you're too pretty or your body is so developed. Or it's your fault. I'm obsessed with you and it's all your fault because you're this and you're that. That's so problematic on so many levels. It's not your fault. It's not. Just because you're beautiful doesn't mean that anyone has the right to do this
advantage
or take advantage, of anything in any kind of way. So let's talk about how this trauma has affected your relationship. So, because I can imagine a woman that hasn't had that kind of trauma, she may take it one way, but a woman that has had the trauma, I can imagine how hard that must be not to internalize. So let's talk about how it affects all your relationships, your interpersonal relationships with trusting people, even raising your son.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I had a big thing with trust. I'm now getting past it. For the last maybe 4 years, I'm dating a gentleman. He's a wonderful guy. He's a very wonderful guy. But he was my punching bag, saying, not hitting wise, but just always accusing him of doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Because our trust issues so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't fair. Fair to him. I would tell him, if you don't want to be with me, I understand because I have a lot of baggage. I bring a lot of baggage to this relationship. And I don't want you to feel like I'm just always accusing you of stuff. I know you're a good guy, but I don't trust you. Mm-hmm. And he's not even doing anything for me not to trust him, but if he goes out anywhere, it's hard to really explain. Because say for me that if I wasn't happy, if I'm not happy, I'm accusing you for not making me happy. That makes any sense. Okay.
Because you're that's very characteristic of a person who's been disconnected from their power source.
Yeah.
So now, if someone, your internal sense of your ability to do and take control over your life, once that happens, then it's that man, the first one, he was in control over whether or not something was going to happen to you. So it makes sense that you would, because this is how you would process it in your child now, so it makes sense that, you would look outside of yourself. That's a part of the journey.
Yes. Like I said, I'm learning. It's been 4 years I'm learning about that, so. But when I was pregnant with my son, I just bluntly told my ex-husband, all right, if I have a daughter or the son, whatever, you hurt my child, I'm coming after you. And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to do anything to our children. So he advised me, I think you need to go to counseling. But I didn't go to counseling. I went several years later. And so that's when I went to counseling. I forgave. I just forgave, and everything was lifted off my shoulder.
Do you think that some of the trust issues had an effect on your relationship and in the marriage?
Yes, because I wasn't completely happy. So I told my husband I was going to cheat on him. I just finally told him I was. So I was still looking for love.
And did you?
Excuse me?
Did you?
Yes, I did.
But you told him?
Yes. And I did. And I ended up cheating on him.
Yeah. And I want to hold space for that too. Because again, you just illustrated very beautifully where that came from. Lots of times when, people cheat in a relationship, as the person on the receiving end, it's so easy to say, oh, that person is lack of character, they're a horrible person, they're a narcissist, they're evil, they're selfish. But are you those things?
No, I don't think I am.
No, you're not.
No.
But that's how a lot of people will internalize. Yeah, that's how they receive that. You were honest with what you were going to do, and there's a source to it. There's a source to it, and it's part of coping with pain.
Yes. And it's like I would see people, we call people crazy or something. It's a reason why they're going through what they're going through. It's not going crazy. They're not going crazy. Something happened.
Something happened.
They don't know how to internalize what happened or go get the right kind of help. But we go, oh, that person's crazy. No, I stopped saying that a long time ago.
That's right. Thank you. The people we say in our society that hurt people.
Yeah.
But we don't really process that. We use it as a slogan, but then when someone hurts us, we don't look at the fact that they're hurting. And that's why they did it. And really, them hurting us is not about us. It's about them and their pain.
Yes.
So I need to hold space and honor you for talking about that. I think that's a lot of character because what you have just explained and illustrated for me is how we can become toxic to ourselves. That's a part of the journey. When that kind of toxicity gets deposited in our lives, we have to sort through it. It's almost how you don't embrace it and how you don't react in negative ways to try to get rid of it. I don't know how that's even possible. And so part of it really also illustrates the reason for why we need to heal. Because this gets so normalized in our lives, we develop this. Now I personally think of extraordinary character to be able to say these things and to be able to come forward and be public with it and say, hey, these are things I did as an attempt to heal, that I had to learn, I had to get better. But how many of us, again, it happened and we don't even talk about it. There are people that are adults, in their 50s and 60s that have never
ashamed. They're ashamed.
Ashamed.
Yeah.
Ashamed.
Because I talked to some ladies when I was, doing the book and promoting that book, and I was passing out information and stuff that's like, oh my gosh, so I give you props because I am not there. Like you said, they're 50, 60, 70 years old. And it's like, I can't believe how so bluntly you all listen. You just broadcast it like you're running for president or something. You know? I'm not ashamed. It happened. I can't change it.
You can't, that's right.
I can't change it.
Telling the story, it's like telling the story, it unlocks that for you. It unlocks all of that. It drops the shame. It puts you into a place of, this is what happened. This is where these things are coming from. And this is how I harmed myself, how I hurt people around me. But I'm going to be better. I'm better. Because I was suicidal.
I was suicidal growing up. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why. I knew after the fact. I didn't know why. I mean, why did I want to kill myself?
Yeah.
I never did anything to do it, but I always thought about it.
Do you remember around when that started?
I think I was 16.
Yeah.
I was 16. 16 years old, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, I'm glad you're still here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I'm still here too.
Yeah.
So I can help other ladies. Like I helped two ladies from committing suicide with my book, from them reading my book.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if you realize. I mean, I guess you do know how powerful it is.
I do now. First, when I was writing it, I was like, why am I going to do this? Nobody's not going to read this. Nobody's not going to relate to this. So push that and knock that out the window. And hit that out the ballpark for real. So I have changed a few lives, and I'm very thankful. So I always feel like I can touch one person. I did my job, you know.
Just one. Because touching that one touches their generations. You know, if you can, that person begins to heal, right? When they say that you heal generations before you and after you, because you're really helping bring things to light for the people that came before you and the people that come after you. You're breaking the cycle.
Yes.
That is powerful. That's why, for me, like I said, this has been a slow read for me, because this is a book that you have to digest and understand. It's not the type of thing that you just read and say, you know, there are moments when you sit back and your heart aches. You know, when you describe the experiences, you're just such a powerful woman. And I'm so grateful that you have found a way to tap into that power.
Thank you.
And be strong in that sense again. That is an amazing, beautiful thing. So before I let you go, I want to talk about some of the advocacy work and talk about, you know, your thoughts and feelings about Marcy's Law. And also I'd like to talk to you, especially because you mentioned that you found out you were 6 weeks pregnant when you found out. So let's talk about the House Bill in one.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's not fair to the woman. How are you going to tell someone that they have to keep their baby if they don't want the baby?
Yeah.
This is their body.
And I mean, yeah.
I don't know if did they say anything about you have to prove you got raped or something. I don't know. Did they discuss that? Because I didn't hear anything about that.
I haven't either. As far as I know, that's the bill that's on the table. I'm not aware of there being other provisions for in case you were raped, because that's a part of what the entire uproar is about. So the bill basically says that after 6 weeks you cannot have an abortion. So that basically makes abortion illegal in Georgia, which is unconstitutional, which is why the ACLU is challenging it in court, because most women don't find out. You know, you're not going to find out if you're pregnant before your first period, before the first period passes. Even if you took a pregnancy test, it would be too early to take a pregnancy test. Well, I don't know. I think some of them, do they have that now where some of them are a little bit more advanced? Outside of having sex, you're not going to have any indication within 2 or 3 weeks that you're pregnant.
I think I was almost 13 weeks when I had my abortion.
Yeah.
I was almost 13 weeks. My baby right now, I am 47. My baby is 34 years old.
Oh boy. Yeah. You know, and giving space to that, I know people are saying, but, you know, giving space to that. I think there's just it's tragic on so many levels that people that are pro-lifers see that as, forcing the woman to give birth to the child, particularly in a scenario like that. They have no idea how that woman, she has to raise the child.
Yeah.
How she internalizes that. How many kids are out there that are the products of rape, that their mothers could not connect with them. And they're traumatized by their upbringing because their moms couldn't connect with them because they were products of their mother's trauma.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask of the mother, and that's a lot to ask of the child. It does not set the child up for a good quality of life at all.
And that's why, since they're going to try to pass that law, now they're going to go back to the old ways. People going underground to go get abortions.
And that's where the danger comes in.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you this much, though. I have engaged with the ACLU on several occasions on a social justice level. And I know that ACLU interns, attorneys, every person I've ever interacted with from the ACLU they are incredibly sharp and thorough, very thorough. That's a part of it. Seems like it's a part of the MO. In all of the cases that I've kept track of that the ACLU has pursued, they won. ACLU of Georgia, in that regard, I think that they will be successful because, again, a state cannot rule abortion to be illegal, basically, which is what this law does in our Constitution. When Roe versus Wade says that it is. But see, the challenge is, I think, that what these states know is because Kavanaugh is now on the Supreme Court, they know that he's a person that is against Roe versus Wade. That what these states are predicting, this is why Brian Kemp would do, why they're going to pass these bills. Because what's going to happen is that it gets challenged in court, it'll get lost on the state on one level, but then what happens is that the case will eventually go to the Supreme Court. And when the Supreme Court decides it's in favor, you have more people on the Supreme Court right now that are in favor of eliminating Roe versus Wade. So that's the end game that they're anticipating with this case. So we can only keep our eyes open for that.
I pray, Lord, don't let that pass.
Right, because it's not like Supreme Court justices are not people, they're appointed, so they're not people that we can vote out of office and they hold that position until they die. Or they decide to leave, So that's where that becomes highly problematic. So let's go to Marcy's law because that's already there. And it's something that is an effort that at least I'm grateful. I know lots of women are grateful that measure was put into place. So can you talk a little bit about that in your involvement?
Yes, Marcy's law is for a law that just got passed for equal rights to crime victims. It's for any kind of victim, robbery, rape, murder. You're able to go to court with the defender and step-by-step basis what's going on with their case. You know what the court date, when the court dates are, when they're going to be released before they get out, versus finding out after they get out, they're at your doorstep with a gun at your head or something. So now we know every step of the case along with them. You will not be left out of the hold of nothing.
It's outstanding.
And I was very happy to be a part of that, going down to the Capitol for 2 years, protesting with them.
Yeah.
And
that's outstanding.
That's wonderful. I'm like, wow. So, I wonder what else that we can help pass. Something with sexual assault. I don't know, but I will be looking into that to find out.
Well, let's do that together.
Okay, you sure can. Yes, ma'am.
I would love to do that because, for me, child advocacy is, understanding it the way I do, stopping this violence as children, it prevents perpetrators.
Yes.
and it prevents people from being hurt.
Yeah.
So it stops the cycle. It's a way to stop this cycle and break it down and sort of release some of what's going on. So I hope
the more the awareness, the more the mirror being all the awareness that we can get.
Yes, and since I have, I'm working on my book as well. And so since I decided to do that, I have really have this deep desire. Again, I told you were very inspirational to me because you're the person. When I met you on Live Life in the Purple and heard about what you were doing, it's kind of been circulating in my head since then that, this happened to me, but I don't have to be powerless. I can be those people that go to you because you absolutely can.
Yes.
It's not, they can't close the public out of their congressional sessions and people are go down there all the time and advocate for these laws. Lots of mothers, lots of women do this to help promote the change. And really, if we want change, that type of involvement is where we need to be.
Don't consider my other books.
Yes, because that's just I'm going to ask you to talk about your new book that's coming out. And when is that coming out to you?
No, it's out already.
Oh, it is? Okay, good.
It's out already. It's Letters of Healing to Reach a Higher Purpose. It's compiled with 6 other authors, sexual assault survivors. And we have letters to our defender, letters to the inner child, and letters to the survivor. So all 7 of us have our own 3 little letters.
Oh,
and we're gonna have a play. We have a play coming in next Saturday in Tennessee.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Okay.
And they're gonna have ladies portray us. So we get to see somebody else speak our letters.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see that.
I'll be excited to see it too. And so it's in Tennessee, and where is it and what time?
It's at 6 p.m. The location, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. If you can get us out of that location, I'll go ahead and get it posted on our social media.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before I let you go, I'd like to find out, is there anything else you'd like to share? Anything else you want people to know?
That was we can get just more awareness to our young children and to young mothers. And be aware who's around your children. And like I say, ask questions. And it's okay to fight for your child. Don't let no man come in and take control of your household. And just love your child and keep them close. Like you said, a helicopter thing, but that's only natural. If you love your child, you will protect your child. Right. So need more awareness, and in schools we need more awareness. Yes. And even on the commercials, particularly don't advocate sexual assault. I don't understand why not. But just take care of your children and talk to them and love them. And just keep talking to them about predators or bad touching, good touch. And just bring more awareness. Just teach your children. And know that we are all part of this crazy puzzle with different pieces. In different pieces, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. I thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm just looking forward to working with you on some of these in the future, and I'm just wishing you all the success that you can stand and happiness that you can stand. Before we sign out, I'd like to let people know, make sure people are aware. Again, I'm doing this series because it's a Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The hashtag is hashtag SAAM on social media. You can find information about it just by searching that hashtag. But for me, I'm mostly a podcast host, but I'm also a poet. So on April 27th,
I will be performing at the Teal Walk. It's a walk to end sexual assault. And it is at from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Village Park at North Henry. There's going to be music, food, and vendors, activities for kids also. So please, everyone, make sure you come out. You can go ahead and register online by going to the Let Your Voice Be Heard Foundation.org. And then next, I'll also be performing in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It is the 3rd annual Poetry Slam for Sam at Catch Cafe, which is at 970 Piedmont Avenue, and that's Saturday, May 18th. And it starts at 5:30, and the event itself is the mix and mingle at 5:30, and the event is between 6 and 9. And you can register for that by going to the bit.ly link /slam for Sam. So once again, I thank you for coming on to the show. I believe that you're an incredibly powerful woman, and I think that the power that's in you is really you kind of reflect my mantra, which is be intentional with your plan and manifest your best.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So thank you again, and check to everybody. See you next week. Tune in at 3 o'clock for an all-new episode of Dynamics of Dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the show. We hope you found the information to be very helpful to you. If you are in fact living with domestic or sexual assault violence in any form, I encourage you to reach out to RAIN at rain.org. There you can find a live chat with someone, or you can call the number 1-800-656-HOPE. That is 1-800-656-4673. Whatever you do, I encourage you to get help today, and I want you to know that you are not alone.